So why do we need such a code sandbox environment or such a local project created with extra tools like Vite if we simply want to write some React code? Why can't we just create an HTML file and a JavaScript file and reference the script file from inside the HTML file and then put our React code into that script file? Why is that not really an option? Well, it isn't really an option because when writing React code, you'll use this special HTML in JavaScript feature, which I already showed you earlier in this section. This syntax is called JSX, and you will learn more about it throughout this course. But what's important to understand about this special syntax, which you will use all the time in React projects, is that it unfortunately doesn't work in the browser, which of course is a rather big problem. So therefore, the code you write actually must be transformed to code that does run in the browser. Also, because you typically want to optimize this code and, for example, shorten variable and function names and remove excess whitespace so that the code that has to be downloaded by your website visitors is as small as possible to improve the performance of your website. And that's the reason why you need to create React projects with extra tools like Vite. Because it's then in the end those tools which do transform your code to code that can be executed efficiently in the browser. That's why you can't just create a basic HTML and script file, but why you instead do need those extra tools. But fortunately, as you saw in the last lecture, creating projects with those tools is pretty straightforward. Of course, especially if you use the code sandbox environment, because you there basically don't have to do anything. And as mentioned in the last lecture as well, throughout this course, in all those course sections, I will always give you starting projects, both a code sandbox and a local version, so that you actually don't have to create any projects at all, but you can instead use those starting projects and work in those, so that you can really focus on learning and writing React code.